All right, it's a really nice rainy day, which I'm actually really loving. You can't tell, but it's rainy. It has been all day. Luckily, Brody went to the park yesterday. I forgot to get some pictures, but he did really good. It's so interesting. It always interests me. I mean, it's the same thing every day, but it really does always interest me. Is that, a lot of times the dogs, when they go home, they start to do good. And, well, I mean, obviously they're supposed to. So they're doing well. And then little things start to creep back in. And it's amazing. Of course, this may not be the situation at home. I'll find out. But it's amazing to me how it's always the little things. We got Boomer here, too, for boarding. But it's always the little things, like coming out of crate calmly, being calm at the front door, not just waiting and sitting, but actually being relatively calm and in tune with you before you even go outside. We're such sticklers for those things, especially when we're boarding and we're getting these dogs in after being home for a while or for years or whatever the case is. And as soon as we tighten up the little things, man, everything else just gets so much easier. But I actually wanted to talk about affection. Boomer's crazy. If you guys remember Boomer, he's crazy and he's lovable. I absolutely adore him, but I don't want him to know. But he's a pretty anxious little wound up tight guy. Okay. And I mean, look at that face. It doesn't really get any cuter. So here's the thing. He's been home for a while now. And affection is something that we start to wean back in, to the program. And honestly, my answer is, when is my dog ready? Well, when they've earned it, when they're not being a jerk, when they're being good at home, not just when you go somewhere, but at home. And something really little, like a little fine tuning with him. Good boy. Affection creates so much excitement with this dog. It's like he's not allowed to say hi to anybody because it's so excited. And then before you know it, he's jumping at a skateboard again. So I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but because it is harder, than you think to implement it. But it really is that simple. So I'm going to put him, I don't think he has great contact on his e-collar. So I'm going to put him at a 10. Normally I'd probably put him at a 4, just kind of FYI. I'll look at his contact in a minute. But we were just doing this, and I was hoping he'd screw up again. So I could show you what we were doing, but I just let Brody outside. He will not pee in the rain, but he will. But anyway, I was like, oh, good boy. Just a little pat to see how he'd do with it. And look, he's not going from 0 to 100. If he did, he'd get corrected, and that would tell me no pets for Boomer. He's in a good state of mind right now. No. Down. I'm on the button. I'm actually on continuous. Good. Now this is training 101. This is how he was originally trained. Low levels, continuous till he was in position. But this is just kind of something, he's been gone a long time, so I'm kind of just doing something new. Now what I did before was I was petting him, and he got up while I was petting him. So I didn't stop petting him. I just decided to do something different. I continued to pet him, but I stopped wiggling my fingers, but I still touched him. And then I was just on the button and had him lay down. And then I started wiggling my fingers again. It's such a small thing, guys, but when you have certain dogs, this might be a step that they need. If you want to start, it probably seems like overkill training wise, but that's why I like what I do. I like all these little moments, these little teaching moments. Just like if you have kids, you always want to find teaching moments with your kids. Good boy, Boomer. Let's see. Good boy. See if I try some high-pitched stuff. I don't actually want to set him up, but I kind of wanted to show you guys what I was doing. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. No. Place. So that was different. He got all the way up. Down. I scrolled up too. I didn't stay at my 10. That's how I know that I need to look at my contact. When I say contact, I'm talking about e-collar, guys. Good boy. See if we can find a happy middle. Good boy. Good boy. Good job. I'm not petting the belly. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Oh, he's not going to do it now. He's like, I'm on to you. So anyway, it was kind of like what you just saw. It was truly, oh, good boy, Boomer. And I'm wiggling. He got up. I stopped moving. on the button, said down. He went back into a down, and I continued wiggly fingers. So it's really to just kind of help fine tune, the aspect of you can be pet in place. You can have affection in place. You don't only get affection when you're released to the couch and then you're crazy and you won't go back to place. Maybe we can try to add some little fine tuning stuff in here for you guys to kind of set you up when I talk about this hardcore structure. The reason I talk about it so much is because it's so hard to do and people don't do it properly. They kind of half do it, so they get a few improvements and they think that that's all that they can do. And it's just not true. You're just not going in hard enough as far as the structure goes. But when we wean back off of structure, yeah, good boy. When we wean back off of that, well, that was good. Now I'm going to walk away, and I am going to keep an eye on him because he's definitely a dog that would creep up after getting affection. And we'll just see how he does. What about you, big guy? What about you? That tail never stops. He actually isn't ready for this yet, just to be perfectly honest. I'm going to do it. What I mean by not ready is he might do this just fine, but he still has some things at home because he hasn't been home that long yet. And he got to go camping where he did really great, but he was like right next to mom and dad for a few days. So even that closeness can definitely affect the dog when they go back home. So he's really not. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Good. Oh, I know. I love those big German Shepherd noses. They're just the best. Good boy. All right. So he interprets it differently. He can stay in place and be fine. But here's the thing. This is the tricky thing. If you do that kind of stuff before they're ready, even if they handle it well, they don't get up, they, like Boomer did, they don't do anything like that, but they'll carry that with them. He's very excitement oriented to the point where, like, when we first got him, he would just spin and go nutty. He'd untie my shoelaces trying to leash him up. So excitement is like, is the killer for him for good behavior. Oh, down. Excitement is the killer for him for good behavior, like I was saying. So just that petting that I did right there, he's hoping, he's like playing me and pretend, see, like my air quotes without my face being shown. He's playing me as far as, oh, I'm a calm dog. Look, he's whining. See, I release him and he's to the door, ready for his walk, sees the dog. Roo, roo, roo. So it's all about those little moments and not adding stuff back in until you've really redefined your relationship, and not just through correction on the e-collar. I'm talking about the little stuff. That's where it's at. Isn't it, Brody? See, look, now he's whining. Pitiful puppy. All right, guys.